Thanks for staying with us. We're still talking about what happened at the funeral of Herbert Wigwe and his wife and son, where Senate President and the Governor of Rivers State were exchanging jabs. You can call us on the numbers on your screen to join the conversation: 081-0764-1679, 090-24163440, or you can tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourView on TVC. You can also watch us on YouTube, TVC Entertainment, and send your comments there too. We'll be happy to read them. Nima, you're going to say something because Miriam was speaking earlier that it's all of us. It's not just the politicians.
I was looking for the link so I can properly quote it. So there was a church service in Rivers State for the late Wigwe and his family. And the MC had introduced Peter Obi. Yeah. He was made to reintroduce him because the applause and the welcome was not
high enough. The audience insisted.
Yes. So he did that. So it's just as Miriam had alluded earlier, it's a Nigerian thing. It's like our head no they correct for many certain circumstance. You are mourning. The three corpses, the three coffins there from front of you. What else do you need as a sign to be sober? We had to focus on all our past from 2023 elections. We carried that one into this. Senate President Tukuku did not even know how to lead. He came and worsened the situation. And everybody just kept being selfish and self-centered in their speeches and address to this issue. I felt, a lot of people referring to how they were instrumental or how Wigwe was instrumental to them was a bit somehow. But this one is the lowest of it. This one is really, really upsetting.
According to Atero Peter's side too, he was saying that that the Senate President was also complaining that Peter Obi got more of arousing applause compared to him. So I didn't see that, but based on what Atero Peter's side tweeted, he also said that the whole thing was quite distasteful. And he was quite disappointed in what the Senate President. As I said, I'm trying really hard to see all the angles, but it's so difficult to see.
This happened Morayo, this happened in church. Christians, let's talk to ourselves. Let's just sit down and talk to ourselves. Who is our standard? What is our standard? Who are we looking up to? Who are we copying? Who are we acting like? Because we have shown, no. This is terrible. This whole conversation we're also talking about happened in church. I promise you, it will not happen in a mosque. I promise you. When Muslims sit down to honor their dead, they don't involve themselves in this kind of back and forth and talking. There's a place for everything. Yes, we like to praise and worship God, but even He recognizes that there's a time. The Bible says something here, Ecclesiastes. Sorry, I'm taking your role today.
I don't understand.
Bible. Yeah. But Ecclesiastes 7:2, it's better to go to a house of mourning than to go to a house of feasting. So I'm using this again to refer to the party that happened in his own church. So, I sat down with a couple of Christians, some of who were pastors, and they were trying to explain this thing to me in different ways. And I just could not understand how the Bible has now become a book that nobody understands anymore. It doesn't mean anything. It depends on
different things.
It depends on the day, who you know, who you are friends with, what side of the bed you wake up on. It's so wrong. Apart from the religious side, as a people, let's figure out how we want to carry ourselves when we are at funerals. Yeah. Let's teach ourselves. Usually we call out young people for bad behavior, but now I understand that everything we complain about our young people is because the elders, even the church thing, we're 60s plus. People are in your 60s and above, and you're acting this way. Heavens! I'm disappointed in us. As Christians, I'm disappointed in us.
Then I think we have also moved away from focusing on being good human beings to being attached to our labels and our identity. Identity meaning the caps that we wear. So you are a politician, you are a medical doctor, you are a chief, you are this. And when people do not recognize you with those labels that you wear, you feel it's a direct attack to who you are. but that's not who you are. It's a label that you wear. And if you come into a place and people do not recognize you, go and sit down quietly. Even the scripture said it. Sit there, let them now say, okay, where are you? Or come to the front. We have kept your space in the front. But this insisting on you must see me, you must recognize me, you must call me all my titles is a problem that we have deviated from focusing on being good to, and that's why we fight and kill and do whatever it is to keep us at those levels, because that is all we think about. And as a result of that, we have lost respect in who we are as human beings. And when you don't respect yourself, you will not respect your environment, you will not respect the people around you, you will not respect the dead, you will not respect anybody, because it's all about me, selfishness.
Let me take this call from Isiaka. It's calling from Auchi. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Hello.
The Senate president, you know him, and he's occupying a very important position. Now, this there's what we call a baba in this circle. You should just stop it and be focused. There's a place where you are mourning, you focus and you think about your life. Am I going to end this way? When am I going to end? This is what mourning is all about. It's not about talking and talking and talking. Good morning. I really love your program. Thank you very much.
So if the Senate president thought it was important to respond to Fubara, it's possible that there's a way he could have done it in a subtle way, not this obvious. Because, I mean, he was just trying to say, listen, I'm trying really hard.
You're trying really hard. That was not the place.
Let me try to rephrase my thoughts. I'm saying that as a Senate president, this is a governor, and you feel that, okay, he threw a jab at you. There could have been a better way to respond to him in a subtle way that is not obviously obvious that you are trying to throw a jab at him. Maybe he was just trying to send a message that listen.
You know how when we're growing up, there are some things we used to hear this. The best answer to a fool is silence.
Silence.
You know. So if you feel the person is being foolish, give the person silence. It's not
Ignore
everything.
it.
Yeah,
so
ignore it.
Silence the response.
Good. So he would have been silent. You would have ignored it and left him with whatever thoughts he had. Yeah. And this system or style of you give me, I give you. We know
Nigerian factor.
Savages. That is the problem.
It's not taking us anywhere.
You know, it will not take you anywhere.
Well, I have to ask a question, Miriam. Who checks the Senate president? Who checks us when we do this? When we goof like this in the church, in the politics, even as Nigerians? Who checks us? Who's going to tell us? Who should check us?
We're checking him this morning now.
You know what you said this? You know the father of the house is usually above any mistake.
Yeah.
So when they even make mistakes and the child comes and says, shut up. Talk to your elders like that. None of those things. You cannot call out an elder for their mistakes. I grew up like that, badly trained, according to my aunties. Because if my father was talking outside in public and I didn't feel it was because Daddy, wait. I'll go to him. I didn't even used to whisper. Growing up, I used to just shout, Daddy, no. So there was an issue of infidelity from the village that was called about. And they were sitting in council and talking about it. And he was supporting his sister. And I came and said, if it was your daughter, a man said, you see, I told you this guy is badly raised. I said, you would not see the side of the woman. No. It's only your brother. He did take care of her, you know. And my answer said, badly raised. You don't call out an elder. So the senior president will not carry the behavior of, I can do no wrong. Thank you. Into political office, you see that. Then because the Senate president is untouchable, he's the Senate president. He has had a lot of goose at the floor of the house. Did that tell him to stop talking?
Yeah. But the pastor the pastor also stepped in. You know, he came to make a speech, and he now highlighted what Fubara said and, you know, tried to explain it. And he says, you know, they should all applaud the governor. And when they were doing that, the camera now zoomed on both the governor and the Senate. Yes, and the Senate president. In my mind, I said, I'm sure the Senate president felt it. I'm sure he got the message even from there. I hope he did.
So in answer to your question, we need to begin to check our society needs to begin to check itself, right? Because we are the only ones that can purify the debts that we have gathered by ourselves. What we are doing here is part of the check. The day I goof, you people check me. The day you goof, I check you. You know, everybody just holds. As long as we know the standards that we want to go back to, we know the right things from the wrong things. When people around you are goofing that goof, you have to check them. You do not leave any man in isolation because of fear of, okay, if I check Morayo now, she'll likely give me a query, or she'll not be my friend anymore, and then I keep quiet and allow her mess up in public. So we must begin to hold ourselves accountable now that we are saying no to all those people who are giving basbos. Yes, allow yourself. No to all those people who are fighting. No to all those people who are using wrong language. No, 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 no. The society does not stand for it. What it takes to be a role model, a politician, a leader, is that you set yourself apart from the group. You are the example. Everybody's looking at you, and people can also call you to order. So we hold ourselves accountable. This is not acceptable. And like you said, I like that advice that you give. Our politicians need to invest in a team, a capable team that will train them how to speak, how to talk, how to respond, and things they are not supposed to respond to. So before you are going out, you have a plan on how you want to show up for that day, and see how we can, you know,
somebody else says that
give better example.
Yes, they are using some unprintable words, which I'm not going to use to describe our Senate president. But somebody says he lacks sympathy and empathy, and he could have done. He knows better. He should have done better. So I mean, we're going to be wrapping up. I'd like to take a few comments on social media. Go ahead.
Emmanuel says Fubara essentially said vanity upon vanity, highlighting an age-old cliche. So it leaves many wondering why Akpabio should feel triggered over a general comment about the ephemeral and fleeting nature of life, especially at such sober gathering, harbor. And for me, there's a saying in our local proverbs that the madman never knows he's mad. It's his family members who think.
I'll be shy on his behalf.
There must be one relative that is very, because it cannot just be sycophants all around you. There must be one relative who thinks, who be able to say, it's okay.
Uncle, no be so.
You know, when everybody say, you're right, that's when I usually slow down. So I'm sure there will be one person in that family that will be saying, you are not right. There's a better way to do it.
What if that statement had it was not directed at him? What if in his mind he just stood up and he made that statement? And if there's an X-ray for us to check, Fubara, for us to check his mind, we'll see that he had no connotation directed at him. No, but what we see, it could be that he was not in his mind when that statement came.
Let me tell you.
It was just him marveling at life and how everything is just vanity.
That was what happened.
And it hit him. So that shows where his mind has been.
That's
where his mind is. Let me tell you what my conspiracy is. So the hosting governor is Fubara. And you know when the governor is hosting, everybody wants to be focused on him. But when the Senate president now comes, he's supposed to turn your attention to me. Not see me. And then Fubara then goes and makes a statement. It's like, you're enjoying this loud applause. It's me. I'm bigger than you.
Especially when we also heard
that was why he had to respond, because all the while he sat down. For me, he just kept thinking,
they not see me.
So especially as you know, we just heard that he wasn't happy about the applause Peter Obi got in comparison to him. And also the Bible says it, when you go to a place, don't quickly go to the place of honor. You know, they will embarrass you, stay at the back, and then they will come and honor you. This is all in the Bible. What is it? Why are we not reading it? What are we reading?
Some people are asking that, so how, I said, how do we check? I said we're checking.
Yes.
But what do we require of these adults when they goof in this kind of situation? Because some have said, a public apology. So imagine the church, for example, says, you know what we did was wrong, we should have done this, or even Senate President says, you know what, actually, I shouldn't have done, I should have been more sensitive to the fact that there are children here who are mourning their parents and siblings. It was just the wrong place. So I think even in our checking, we should also be making demands of what we expect of these people to do.
Leaders.
So demands would be like maybe the second step. The first one is that we hope that, people showing displeasure for the way you have behaved, you'll be humble enough to hear the message and do what is right by you. Do not wait for a demand. So waiting for a demand for me already shows that you're not even in that space where you understand what you have done. Somebody has to spell it out. Sometimes you have a certain behavior and you get away with it until you come outside before you now realize, so my people have just been,
trying to save me this embarrassment.
My people have helped me save face all this time, and here I am out in the open. Now I see what my behavior is like. Only a humble person will understand it and make the required, amendments. But when you demand, that means this person is not ready.
But we have to wrap up on this.
Very common.
So let us just take a final word.
Yes, some people, if you don't make demands, they will never get it. And that's where they are. That's where their emotion is. That's where the emotion stopped growing at that point. So we help them. So for people who can use their common sense to understand that, the atmosphere in the room have goofed and they hold themselves, congratulations to them. For those people who cannot, we will show you that this is goof. We'll spell it out for you in complete sentences and
I believe that from Wigwe's burial, I've learned and reconfirm my conviction on not having public events of private family time.
Yeah.
So this family have 2 parents alive who are burying 3 of their children, whether you like it or not. It should have been a private affair. All the publicity is costing the parents so many things.
I agree.
That's all we can take on this segment. That's all we can take. We're going to short break. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.